Um, I'm gonna be eating again. I figure why not? Let's just make that the norm for these kind of videos. Just while I'm eating, I can you know, kind of spout my nonsense a little bit. Because at the end of the day, it really is just nonsense, right? But I want to talk about morality. Not really like good versus bad morality, because that's what I want to cover. Is the difference between good and bad morality, and if that is even a difference. I think that putting a label on something such as morality, trying to call it good or bad, in itself is just incorrect. Because I don't think there is necessarily a good or bad. Like, there may be evil, but I don't believe in the conceptuality of morals. I think as a society we create morals to fit in a structure and to work together as groups more so. Because kind of a running topic I like to go to is animals, really, and how they don't have morality. Animals do things to live, right? To complete their part of the cycle. But we do things structured on how we feel about things. Like, if you were to put somebody with a very strong moral compass into the forest, and they maybe like hated killing animals or hated deforestation or tearing down the environment or anything like that, they would probably end up dying if they had a strong moral compass. We have that human willpower, which is something that I also want to talk about, because I feel like that connects to morality. Because when we have willpower, we'll also have that which connects to it. So we have belief. We have education, we have structure. Willpower and structure go hand in hand. If you want to maintain a structure, you'll use your willpower to maintain that structure. Now, how does this tie into morality, really? I think as humans, our morality is our will. And we do things set in our will. Our will is set. We change our moral compass. But our moral compass will also always coordinate with our will and what we truly want. Now, the topic of good and bad is something that I like to cover a lot. Not necessarily because it's a really interesting topic, just because it's really a paradox. It's a paradoxical topic, because in reality you don't really have a good and bad. You have a belief of good and a belief of bad, and you're going to surround yourself with people who you know believe in the good and believe in the bad that you believe in. And so, in surrounding yourself with those people, you're going to further strengthen your belief that that's good or that's bad. And when it gets to the point that you've structured your belief so incredibly, then it becomes a given. But naturally, it's not a given, right? At the end of the day, those things are just beliefs. Just as in religion, we can believe in sin, and you can believe in holy. You can believe as things that you see are righteous to do. Righteous to do and sinful to do. And maybe, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm saying that if you were to take those sins, or to take those righteous acts and propose them to a different group that doesn't believe in them, that morality is going to fall through, right? You won't have an even ground when it comes to that morality, because at that point, you don't share the same moral compass. Now, this is for general things, right? Like maybe don't steal, don't break the law, just things like that. But when it even comes to more dramatic things, like don't kill, don't murder, don't judge, don't be racist, don't be homophobic. Those things to you, to me, are givens, right? Those are things that you can see and can recognize are not good, right? Those are immoral things. But if you were to ask maybe a skinhead, for God's sake, they would most likely tell you that being homophobic is a good thing. They would tell you that being racist is a good thing, that maybe killing those people isn't immoral at all. And to you, that sounds completely like shocking. But to those people, no matter how bad we hate it, at the end of the day, their moral compass is completely different from ours. So naturally, the moral compass that we build is purely for the acceptance of societal reasons. Obviously, the moral compass will align with your will. And if you have a will to kill or a will to steal, then those things will not seem immoral to you. But if you have a will to not do those things, then they will always seem immoral. And that's kind of like, this is why I like to talk about good versus bad. Alright? Because truly, there's no good or bad. Right? There's moral and immoral to a person. There's no good or bad. There could be destruction. There can be maybe like construction, the building of things, maybe like the growth of things. But that can't even at that point be seen as good or bad. They can only be seen as what they are, which is growth, construction, or destruction. So at that point, there's no evil. I mean, you have bears that jump into the water and eat salmon, take them away. Like, they'll jump in, grab salmon, and just eat it. They don't think about the salmon's life. And to us, if that was us doing that to another thing, we'd think about it. There's certain groups of us that would think about it. We'd be like, wait a minute, that's immoral. That's not something that we should be doing. But to other people, they wouldn't care. To the bear, it wouldn't care, right? It needs food. It needs to live. So why do we structure our lives so strongly to a moral compass when, in reality, it just gives us more problems? I think it's because, ultimately, we all were born into a certain family, for a certain thing. Our brain, our chemical balances, that's not going to determine your will. What you're grown up around, what you're taught, things like that. If you're grown up and taught morals of murder, then truly, that's not going to be something that you find immoral. But if you're grown up in today's society, I'm saying American society, you will be taught things in your family that your family believes in. But that is also something to think about, is where did their morals come from? Because theoretically, if we're speaking maybe in an evolutionary sense, we all derived from the same being, the same animal, which still a little bit not truly believable to me, because if we derived from an animal and we evolved to the point where we gained a consciousness and we gained ability for thought and ability for comprehension, and no other animal has, that's kind of the evolutionary process seems a little bit flawed to me, because where in that process would something happen where we gained a consciousness that's able to form complete thoughts and work together to create things? That's where sometimes I kind of do tend to believe in a higher power. Not necessarily a good God, not necessarily multiple gods. I don't believe in a true creator. I believe in something that put us here and gave us this thought for a reason. The reason being, I don't know. That's not for me to find out, you know? I'm not here to find out things. I'm here to question things. And to get the answer isn't my destination. To get the answer is somebody else's. That's who put me here. But anyways, what was I saying again? I was saying something about morality. 1 second. Yeah. If we went through that evolutionary process and we got to where we are now, to the point where we were able to build morals, then morals are a social thing. They're not a nature thing. They're not a given. They're nothing like that. They're a thought that we put into ourselves to make us feel like we're doing good or doing bad. Because in the end of the day, if we think we're doing bad, we as people won't want to continue doing those bad things unless we think doing that bad thing is good. Then we'll continue to do it, right? So we build these moral compasses as rules to set our life up, as our own rules to do and continue and live our lives. See, if we don't set rules in line for ourselves, we have nothing to follow. And that is what I think a lot of people get lost in. They get lost in not having anything to follow. That's why people derive themselves of naturality. Because we want rules. We want something set, something to follow. Even people who want to abolish those rules want something to follow. They have something that they follow in their lives. You can ask an anarchist. You can ask anybody. You can ask any person from any society, from any culture. They have something they follow, whether it be their heart, whether it be the rules of their country, the rules of their city, the rules of their tribe. They all have something they follow. And I think that is something that we as humans naturally need to live. We need something set to follow. Now, why we need something set to follow is I don't know. I don't know why we need something set to follow. It really is just an interesting concept, because if we didn't have morals to follow, we'd live our lives like animals. And nothing's wrong with that. But I think that since we have comprehension, I don't even think we'd live like animals if we didn't have things to follow. Since we can understand things theoretically, I believe that we need something to base our understandings off of. Otherwise, we'll get trapped in a cycle like this right now, what I'm doing right now, just questioning things. And if we get stuck in that cycle of cluelessness, eventually we'll get to the point where we don't even know what to eat. We don't know what we need. Like, we need to know things as people. And our desire to know things is where our sense of need comes from. See, when you're born, you're constantly told, like, your true needs. Right? This may have been just me, but you're told you need water, you need food to live, you need oxygen. Just basic things human body needs to live. And from that point, we gain that understanding that we know what we need. And even if we know what we truly need, I believe it'll never get to the point where we will know what others need. Because we constantly build our understanding of what we need off of our experience. Whether it be relationships or anything of that sort, you know what you need in order to function smoothly. And we built that through experience. So why don't we build morals through experience rather than through thought? That's basically all I'm trying to say. I mean, I'm done with my chicken now, so I'm probably done.